Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Fabric Coffee session at Microsoft Fabric Cafe. It is Mehdi Abdullahi, the community lead of this great community. So I'm super excited to host another session in Fabric Cafe. So it is actually one of the first time that we are hosting this session at 9 p.m. my time. It is my weekend is already started. So let me share my screen and let's kick off this session today. Uh, it is the 34th session of Fabric Coffee, and May 30th, as I mentioned, 9 p.m. We are part of Microsoft Learn community, a great and a rich community for just learning and upskilling yourself in Microsoft and Azure landscape, whatever that falls in there. And of course, you can find the learning rooms that you are interested in, and connect with your experts and ask for their opinions, or get support from them. So Microsoft Fabric Cafe, who we are part of Microsoft Learn community, and with over 4,000 members globally, and we are just focusing on Microsoft Fabric. We provide learning and support to Microsoft Fabric users in all levels. It is a forum for everyone to learn, share, and grow skills together. Uh, if you would like to follow us, uh, haven't you followed us yet? So, if you would like to just hear more about Microsoft Fabric Cafe, Microsoft Fabric itself, Microsoft Learn, just follow us on LinkedIn. Uh, the QR code lands you on our LinkedIn, page, where we announce all of our upcoming sessions and whatever that is related to Microsoft Fabric. And we've got also a meetup group that you can just RSVP there, and the YouTube channel that you can just rewatch all the past sessions, or even the upcoming sessions. So there's a code of conduct when you attend the sessions. I do appreciate your adherence to these, uh, code of conduct. So in the past session that we had with Yon Foge is available on YouTube channel. You can just rewatch it as well. That was a great session that he just walked us through how you can connect your Microsoft Fabric to Power Apps and Power Automate. That was amazing. If you would like to just have some hands-on experience on them, and just how to link those Power Apps to your Power BI reports and Microsoft Fabric, then go for it. And for today, I'm super excited to host Mehdi Safiri, one of the best in the world. My friend, Power BI performance tuning. So I'm gonna invite him to the stage, and let's see what Mehdi is going to teach us today. Hey, Mehdi.
Hello, Erdad. Hello there. Hello, everyone. I'm more than thrilled to be here among those who were here before me, previous experts. It's more than thrilling for me to be among them. And kudos to you, Mehrdad. This gathering, this infrastructure is super cool and so instructive. I learn a lot from it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Actually, for those who doesn't know, Mehdi, of course, he's going to introduce himself shortly. But he's one of the organizers, and his for the the user groups, and he's hosting the sessions, same sessions. But today is speaker, and we will learn from him about Power BI, and he's great in Power BI, and so I'm looking forward to learning from you, Mehdi. And actually, it was last week that we had some. Actually, we had a summit in Vancouver, Canada, where I live, And it was interesting that people came to our booth and was asking, what is Microsoft Fabric? It was very new for them. Whoa, what's that? Actually, let me just show you some pictures from the summit. I shared a lot, some videos from there. But yeah, we had this booth, as you can see. We've got the Microsoft Fabric Cafe logo, and just talking about that. It was nice. It was nice experience to see people, you know, in the summit, and everyone was asking, so what is Microsoft Fabric? So initially, to start, what is Microsoft Fabric? I was just talking. Okay, the first question that I would ask from that person is that, do you know Power BI?
Yeah,
you know, then from Power BI, yeah, 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 I know Power BI. Somewhere, somehow in the past 10 years or 15 years now, Power BI.
10 years.
10 years, yeah. In the past 10 years, Power BI, yeah, I know that. It is famous. It is leader in the industry, so it is well-known one. So yeah, from Power BI, I could just start my introduction to Microsoft Fabric to those who doesn't know anything about data and data analytics. So it was it was a great maybe abuse from Power BI. But yeah,
It wasn't
that's it.
abuse, I wanted to invite you to my show to uh, for have a lecture in Persian language for uh, our compatriots about the gates of entering to the fabric realm, and your example was great. The
Yeah.
gate to open to the fabric realm is Power BI.
Yeah.
And here, lively, I want to invite you to a
For
session in
sure.
Persian language to introduce the fabric environment to Persian people. If
Yeah,
you
yeah. That would be a
must
pleasure.
accept it right now.
Yeah, it is already accepted. And thank you for the
Yeah,
invitation.
thank you.
Cool, Mehdi. I don't want to waste the time and hand over the session to you. Please share your screen. I know you're gonna share the screen, and you have a lot to share with us today. So, guys, feel free to just introduce yourself in the chat, and if you have any question, just write it in the chat, and they will be answered by Mehdi for sure. And as I mentioned, Mehdi has a YouTube channel, so I'm gonna just copy that in the chat with the handler of Mehdi Safiri. Of course, is going to share that in the presentation as well. But Mehdi, are you going to share your screen? I don't see
Yeah,
that yet.
I'm going to set up first and I'll be sharing that.
Okay, cool, awesome, cool.
Do you have my screen?
Yeah, I do. Let me just add it here. So, yeah, it is there. And guys, enjoy it. And I don't have my coffee at 9 p.m. I only have my water. So, if it is morning in your end, so enjoy your
Yeah,
coffee and
it's
enjoy the
morning
session.
7:30 in Iran. It's early morning,
Cool,
but
awesome,
I
awesome.
haven't drink any coffee yet. After this session, I'm surely going for that.
For
Thank
sure.
you, Mirta. Thank you
Yeah,
for
the
this
stage is yours.
introduction.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Cool, cool. Thank you. Uh, I'm more than thrilled to be a presenter in this platform. Thank you, Mirta. And let's get started. Microsoft Fabric Cafe. Hello, everyone. Power BI performance tuning. Today, we are going to let me take control of this. Okay. If you don't know me, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. You can follow me on LinkedIn with the URL that is presenting on the screen, and you can just scan the QR code. It lands you to my page. I'm more than happy. I would be happy to be connected to you guys. It's so cool to have connection around the world. Thank you so much. Let's go to the performance tuning. Today, we are going to have a review on performance tuning topics and then hover onto my machine to have some hands-on tuning practices. And after that, the Q&A part, you can ask questions. And if fortunately I know the answer, I will help with that. Okay, why performance matters? Today, we will be looking at Power BI performance tuning, how to make our reports faster, more efficient, and scalable. Whether you're a developer or analyst, optimizing performance is crucial to ensure a great user experience. Faster dashboards are equal to better user experience. Poor performance impacts adoption. If client finds your report poor in performance and slow, they abandon it, they leave it, and they don't use it for their decisions. Optimization reduces infrastructure load, and it's cost cutting criteria for Power BI and data teams. The key performance factors in Power BI. At first, we want to know the data model design and DAX calculations, then data volume and refresh strategy, visual complexity, and report layout. These are the five pillars of performance tuning in Power BI, and we'll go through each of these today. Optimize your data model. We have a great example for this part in our presentation today in hands-on part. Someday I remember a quotation from Sohail Bakshi, a great master of mine, my beloved expert in this criteria. Someone asked him what is the best data model, and he answered, not just others to say, star schema. Sohail answered, obviously it depends on your company, depends on your data infrastructure and so many other aspects, but in terms of performance and speed of a report or a DAX and its velocity engine, star schema performs better than over Snowflake or an OBT, one big table, and other data models. The next part we must do in our optimization, we must remove unnecessary columns and tables. When you don't want to use it, don't load it. It's simple as it is. And the data types, it's more than important. Some data types consume lots of RAM, memory, and if you learn to optimize it and use the correct data type, your report absolutely will perform better. You can see a star schema here. As if you don't know, there's a fact in the middle, and it's surrounded by dimensions, and the relation between them is many to one, and the direction is from the dimensions to the fact table, and there is no any bidirectional relationship between them. And here it is. It's as simple as you can see. The next part, this is a DAX optimization. One of the most crucial parts of bottlenecks of our performance in our reports is DAX. That can be powerful, but it's a common source of a performance issue. You should avoid unnecessary row by row calculations, iterations. You must avoid them, and avoid creating calculated columns because they act row by row, and there is a row context in them. And functions like calculate, filter, are so friendly and super cool. They are handy, but you must be wise when you are using them. There's a concept in tabular data modeling, especially in Power BI. It is called upstreaming. What does it mean? If you want to create a calculated column, think about it. Is it necessary? Could you do this with just a measure, or you're not able to do that? You know, think about it. Measures are better in performance, more or they are more better than columns. Calculated columns. So we suggest you to use measures over calculated columns. But if you can handle this transformation, these calculations in Power Query environment, so you upstream that, go for doing this part in Power Query. If you could do this layer above that, for example, SQL Server, for example, in your OLTP, just put your transformations a level above of that. This is called upstreaming, and it reduces the load of RAM consumers. Yeah, and this is as simple as it is. This is the priority of usage: measures over calculated columns, transformations in Power Query over than measures, or you can go further and do the transformations in the SQL Server environment. Another part is aggregations and pre-calculation. For large data sets, aggregations are the key. You can reduce load time by summarizing data ahead of time in Power Query or creating aggregate tables that Power BI can use when appropriate. It's simple. When your table is smaller, the performance is better and your report is faster. And the next part is refresh performance. You refreshing large data sets can be bottleneck. Use incremental refresh wherever possible and filter your data early in Power Query. You don't need to load the entire table all the time. Just changes, just bring the changes. Incremental load means that you are not supposed to call all the data in every refresh, just the rows that are updated, deleted, or new or inserted in your data model. There are so many tools we can use to help. Performance Analyzer, a built-in function in Power BI Desktop, shows how long visuals take to load in query patterns or other aspects we will show in upcoming slides. And DAX Studio helps analyze and debug the queries. It's so helpful. Tabular Editor lets you to manage metadata, and the Power BI service provides usage metrics. Today, we are not going to go deep for usage metrics. Just the Performance Analyzer, DAX Studio, and Tabular Editor. And to recap, there are so many best practices to focus on efficient data models, write clean text, limit visuals, use pre-calculation where needed, and monitor using tools like Tabular Editor and Dex Studio. These practices consistently leads to a better performance. At the end, I want to introduce you something special. Special thanks to uh, I don't remember. Daniel Tykir. Yeah, I'm bad in remembering names. Daniel Tykir in Dex Studio. There is infrastructure in Dex Studio. We can analyze our model, best practice analyzer BPA, and I will show you how to use it. Load the JSON file, analyze the model, and modify it. Okay. My presentation for the topic topics is ended, and let's get into the work. And we must make our hands dirty. Just let me to open a file. you know a Power BI file. You know, there is, if you can see, method, just let me know.
Yep. We can see your
Okay, okay.
Power BI now. Yep. Thank you.
We have a Contoso data model, but we made it a flat file. We have denormalized all the data into just one table. There's no any other table. We have made it simple. It's a flat file. In challenges in data analyst realm, people think, okay, I am using a single flat file and it's okay. Why do I need to make it a star schema? Here I will show you why you should do this. You are looking at the flat file, just a gathering of columns, and the other file that I want to show you is the star schema data model of Contoso. There is a fact in the middle and it's surrounded by dimensions. There are the same columns in both files. Nothing is added, nothing is reduced. And the dimensions include the columns and fields to have more details about the facts, excuse me. But we want to see how are these two files differ from each other. You know, one important thing, one important concept in tabular models is that they are columnar in memory. They have columnar in memory architecture. What does it mean? It means everything is stored on the RAM memory. Everything. Every calculation is almost done in memory, and all the data, Power BI holds all the data on the memory. And columnar. The X velocity engine splits the table into the columns and stores the columns. It doesn't hold the table. You know, all the columns are separately stored in Power BI. This gathering totally means columnar in memory. So the memory usage is so important. Less memory consuming models are better in performance. Let's see that. Let's hover into DAX Studio. We can load both files here by clicking on selecting Power BI SSDT model. At first, let's take a look at the star version. It's completely
Sorry, Mehdi.
connected.
Excuse me.
And, okay, okay.
Do you have me? So actually, we are not seeing your screen there. It is
Excuse me.
showing the build.
I'm, I'm, excuse me. Yeah, yeah. Again do that. Excuse me. It was my mistake.
Yeah,
Here you
yeah,
can
you're
see
on
the
two screens
access
maybe.
to
Yeah.
the environment by clicking on the file new. You can connect to your model. Your Power BI file must be open on your desktop. You can select it and then connect. When you connected successfully, you can go for advanced part and click on view metrics. And the vertipack analyzer tells you more about your metadata, about your cardinalities, total size of each table, each column, how many data is there included, the dictionary size, hierarchy size, encoding type, data types, RI violations, and so many other information about your model. Totally, and in simple words, it's talking about the size and occupied size on the RAM. Leave all the parts here and go to summary part. The star file is 48.75 megabytes in memory. It has occupied 48 megabytes on our memory, and we can see how much space, how much memory does a flat file, same data, but in flat file, in one table, takes on our RAM. Again, new, connect to our flat file, Power BI, and go to metrics, let it load. This just identifies just one table. There are not so many tables like this star schema. There is just one table, and all the columns are here in this flat table. We'll leave it behind. And in summary part, obviously there is more memory usage, 59.59 megabytes in memory usage. It's more consuming more of our RAM space. Let's see again, 48 megabytes and 59 megabytes. So flat file is more consuming our memory, as simple as it is. The next part, here on the hands-on part, I will show you like a partisan. I just go deeper and deeper from the corridors to corridors to show some best practices. Let's hover back on to home, our metadata. For the star part, you can see there are some hidden tables here. There are these tables are generated automatically in Power BI when, I will show you, when this option is active. You go to options and settings. It's necessarily mandatory. You must do it. Go to options. A piece of advice: always do these modifications. Let it open. Aha, here we are. Go to the global part, and this part, time intelligence part, auto date time for new file must be unchecked. And for the current file section, you can click on data load, and you can see for this file, exactly just this file, this checkbox is checked, is marked. It's incorrect. It's a bad idea to leave this checked because it's RAM consuming, and makes our model larger on our RAM. We can see again, it is 48.75 megabytes in our memory. Let's remove the hidden files, hidden tables here, and see. We just uncheck this and click on OK. Let it work. Then we do, Dax Studio. And again, we go to Advanced and View Metrics again. Let it reload. Go to Summary part. Here we are. 2 megabytes of RAM usage is reduced, and we have made it better in aspect. You can divide it 2 megabytes into 48. There's, I think, 4% of performance tuning, and you don't see them here anymore. Now we want to go further. We want to use BPA and the other, aspects of our work. will show themselves up here. I have prepared a model. Let me open that. I have masked some data because it's real data of some company. The client came to me and said, my report is slow. Do something with it. Make it better. Okay, let's get started. The process is going to start with performance analyzing and optimize paint. When you turn it on and make it visible on the screen, you can see this pane. From the starting page, you can start recording and let it refresh the visuals. It will take, you can see this part is taking to load the data to form the calculations and show the data to us. Method, do you have my
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are seeing the performance analyzer, which is now spinning for product. Are you still
do you
there?
have my voice? Do you have my voice? I think I was disconnected.
Yeah. No, no, no. I do have your voice and your screen and also your video. Yeah.
So we didn't miss any part of my
Your
speech.
connection. No, no, that's fine. No, actually, you keep cutting for now, but it is good. It's still good, I think. Yeah.
Connection is weak. Excuse me. Connection is weak. Excuse me. I'm living in
Maybe
Iran.
just try to maybe you can maybe just disable your
Let me change.
video.
Need any VPNs or without any VPN?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Let's try it.
You're still here. I think you can just disable your uh, camera, maybe, and it's going to give you a better bandwidth. Do you hear us? So, guys, while Mehdi is, fixing the connectivity issue, I just wanted to add something, in the section that Mehdi was talking about the disabling of date and time intelligence. So it was, of course, it is always, recommended to, uncheck that and create your own date and, date dimension and date table. It's going to be much, faster for and, better in the performance. So now I see Mehdi just left the studio, and I'm hoping to have him back soon. So in the meantime, we can just write your questions if you have anything in and wait for Mehdi to back. Yeah, he's here. Mehdi,
Excuse me. I beg your pardon. I'm living in Iran and the net providers
that's fine.
go off at the same time. همراه اول ایرانسل all went off in the same
No
time.
problem.
Excuse me,
No
my
problem.
apologies. Uh,
So you can just share your
share
screen.
again. I'm going to
Yeah.
share my screen again. So, where were we?
Cool. Yeah. So you were just talking about the uh, loading of tables, and
Yeah.
the longest one was the product. So
And
that
it
was
took
just a screening, and it
about
was the time that you left.
140 seconds, Murdoch, for just a
Yeah,
visual, you know.
that's good.
There is some big issue, and we must go for that. The process is in this way, after all the visuals are finished in our page, we can hover and go to another page without clicking anything, without doing anything. Just let them finish their work. They show the numbers, they show the time. Just go to the next page. It automatically starts to creating new numbers and new timings for visuals, and you will should go until you get to the last page, and after collecting these stats, you can stop, you know, and some experts export these results and analyze them. It makes a JSON file, you can save it and analyze it for your, you can see it's JSON file for further analysis, but we don't go any further for this. We just can see what's going on here, what's happening, what takes too long to perform for this visual. You know, we can open it up. You know, there's a DAX query part, there's a visual display part, and there's other part. There are differences between these, and say the DAX query part is the time that it takes to load the query behind the visualization. Visual display is the time that it takes to load the visual itself, the UX part. The other is waiting time. It waits for the other visuals uh, above it to perform, then its turn to be performed. Some of suggest that we must reduce the number of visuals in our every page. Some suggest 10 visuals are proper. Some suggest that 5 is proper. At least we can say you just must reduce the number of visuals. Less is better in terms of performance. You must reduce the visuals in your page. Okay, we can go for optimizing the query. We can just copy the query. Do you have my voice and screen, Mehdad?
Yes, all good, all good. Yeah,
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 I'm scared of this
yeah.
reconnection. We can
No, that's
connect to
fine.
our.
If I feel any latency, I will jump in. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. We can connect to our model in, you know, uh, we can say Dex Studio, click on connect, and just paste the query. We can hover to home. There's a best practice to run these queries on the Dex Studio that it is you must to run it on cold cache. You must clear the cache several times to get the best timings for this query. Just we can turn the server timings on and then go for running the query. Query started, and we are waiting to it to perform and load the data. We know it takes a lot of time to perform. We just must wait. takes too long. In even in this file, there are local date tables. We must turn them off. Even this file needs to be uh, tuned in this way. We can
Okay.
until it takes to perform. However, back in our file again for practice. Let's see.
Mehdi,
It's working yet?
while you're waiting for this one to actually run,
Uh
there's a
huh. Uh huh.
question for you. Can we access the functionalities of Vertipack Analyzer best practices via APIs? Is there any API available for Vertipack Analyzer? Or
There's no need for that. You know, if you're using service, if you're using on-premises infrastructure, you can use it just with some tricks. There are some C# codes that can be implemented in Dex Studio to run these Vertipack Analyzer for all the reports on a server. We have about 400 in Digicala, and we don't use API. We just use C# codes to run these queries over all the models. If there is any, I don't know. Chinmai,
Mhm.
if there is any, I don't know. It's not on my knowledge
As
criteria.
far as I know, there is no API for Vertex Analyzer, if I'm not mistaken. But for sure, there should be some alternative methods. Cool.
Okay, we can get back to our Dex Studio. We can see that formula engine, this part is formula engine, FE equals to formula engine, SE it's storage engine. It has a lot of things to say. If you want to know all about it, you must go for optimizing DAX, written by Marco Russo. It's about 800 pages. And we don't have enough time to cover them here. But Formula Engine is the engine that is doing calculations, simple DAX calculations in Power BI part. Storage engine is the engine that calculates the simple calculations and performs the calculations over the tables. Our effort is to pushing the time from formula engine into storage engine. Storage engine is our goal to achieve it. The more time on storage engine is better for us. We can search for the part that is consuming our time in our query. We can commenting down any of these summarized columns to see what happens. You know, for the sake of demonstration, you can use commenting down one by one, but uh, for the sake of time, I'm starting from the bottom of the list. I will comment down this part, and surely we must comment down the comma here and clear the cache again and run it again. Remember, 80,000 milliseconds formula engine took to perform. Again, we run the query. This time, 327, you know. Absolutely, this part is our bottleneck. We must handle this. And to address this, we must search for this name in our Power BI file to see what it is. Let's get first to the data load to current file and turn the auto date time off.
Uh, I think we lost you
Or
again.
so many open our it's consuming more. There is always
Uh,
always this part lookup value as possible as you can. It is performing row by row over two tables, and if your tables are too large, it takes too long to perform. And lookup value uh, is coming from the experts in Power BI who are coming from Excel background. Where that the people with Excel background love to use VLOOKUPs. And
yeah,
lookup
yeah.
value is performing same, but it's kills our performing better. We have functions, and we can totally change our you know uh, syntax, DAX code, and do better for that. And it comes with knowing better our model, knowing better our columns, as by changing this. I don't explain the business behind that. It's in the lookups for search for a certain Persian date in another column and brings that into the other column, the other table, and it's some kind of shit, and makes a disaster here. I just can change. I previously wrote and change the way we look at the problem, look at the question, and change just the uh, you know uh, DAX code. You can obviously use LLMs, ChatGPT, to help you. You can ask them if this is my measure, it doesn't work properly. Can you optimize it? And it will help you. I have used it a lot. I have tested it a lot. And by replacing this measure, the name of K, just in for sake of demonstration, I just write the K. By removing the victim from the visualization and replacing it with our new measure, we can go check for performance analyzer again and to see what will change now.
Mehdi,
No,
while again,
so
you're
okay.
is all good on your end, or
Yeah, I'm waiting. I can
okay,
hear.
cool.
Go
So
on.
while you're waiting, Mehdi, just in the meantime, can you just share the link to that 800 page long blog explaining DAX optimization
It's not
technique that
blog
you mentioned?
in my. It's a book. It's a book.
Oh, it's a book. Okay.
It's in my.
Can you
It's
share
not a
the book
blog.
name or
It's a book. You can afford it from Amazon, and skillbi.com.
sqlbi.com?
Yeah, written by
Let's
Marco Rose and Alberto Ferrari.
Okay, cool.
And somehow shit happens and this replacement doesn't work. The process is the same. We must change our measure to perform better here, and for the sake of saving time, let it work and go for other parts of our presentation. The next criteria that we will cover here today is using tabular editor. We will come back to the measure soon. Tabular editor has two versions. Tabular editor 3 is premium version and before that, and tabular editor 2. Let me clear some memory usage from my laptop and close some unnecessary files. Excuse me. So here we are. You can see it's the environment of the tab to use, and you can perform the BPA rules here. Obviously, it's a free feature. By hovering on to tools, manage BPA rules, you can add or change some rules. And for saving time, I have, let me bring the link to download the tabular. Uh-huh. Okay, method. I will share the URL with you and you share it with the audience.
Are you talking about uh,
Yeah.
that
It's the
book you mean?
GitHub for Michael
Oh,
Kowalski.
yeah.
He has
Awesome.
a
Yeah,
lot of
I will just.
rules. You know, Here
So
you
is it
can see I have
already?
shared the URL link. You can download it. It's a JSON file. You can see here VPA rules JSON. It's a
Yeah.
JSON. You put it on the direction of the installation of the the AEST Studio. Excuse me, Tabular editor. Let me find it. Okay, and include rule file, and on my drive the I can see. Let's just download it again. Uh, These are the rules. You can find it, and if you have time, you can read them one by one. The ID, avoid floating data type. There are so many rules to follow for a proper and fast performing Power BI file. Just download it and load it here again on drive D. BP rules, all the rules are added here. We can go to file, new model, excuse me, open from DB, local instance, select your Power BI file, select OK, and then go for, now these two options are active. You can press F10 or click here and a window will open. You can just refresh it, and all the violations of best practice rules will appear here, and all of them you can go for them and resolve these issues. There are so many issues. There are mainly, I think, 10 categories for that: performance category, tax expression category, error prevention category, maintenance category, and so on and so forth. There are so many categories that there are some rules that are violated in our file. For example, in performance, there are a lot to follow. You know, one of them says minimize your Power Query transformation. Each step of Power Query transformation consumes loads of RAM, and you can reduce these steps. We can have conversation about that in further sessions. You can reduce these steps and reduce the RAM usage. Uh, this rule says date calendar tables should be marked as date table. It has effects on our performance. You must mark your date table. Another rule says your model should have a date table. Our model doesn't have any because it's not marked. Consider star schema. It identifies our model is not star schema and it's snowflake, and it takes more time to load. And there are so many other uh, aspects of BPA. Somehow, for the sake of demonstration and saving time, I am using the Tabular Editor 3. It's the premium version. Uh, DAX Best Practice Analyzer is here loaded, built-in way, and we don't need to load it from any URL. Just load your model. Excuse me, open from DB and local instance, customer sales, our file, connect it. Here we are going to do the same in Tabular Editor 3. Uh, Automatically, it tells us so many more about our model. There are so many rules that are violated in our model. Before we start using best practice analyzer, it tells us your model is somehow shit. And we are not going to see this part. And just run the best practice analyzer in the Tabular Editor 3. Just refresh, and let's survey our, let's clear cache. Let's survey our modifications in terms of RAM usage. Our model is 28 megabytes. Okay, just keep it in your mind. We have here a rule for, you know, we can sort it for performance issues. You know, remove redundant columns in tables. You can just go into your table and remove these calculated columns that are unnecessary and unused. You can use measure killer as well. It does the same. Reduce the usage of calculated tables. You can go for to change your model and reduce usage of them. And there are some parts that we can handle them within the tabular editor. When when this tool, this screw uh, tool is going to be active, it tells us I can handle this issue. It identifies 8 objects with floating point data type. The floating point data types consumes lots of RAM memory space, and we can handle it here just by clicking apply fix, and it fixes the issue. Let's get back to, remember 28 megabytes, and we can save. And now again, you can view metrics to see what happens after the modification. 3 megabytes of RAM are freed, and our model got better. 3 megabyte out of 28 megabytes. It's a proper, you know, load. Then hover back into Tabular editor, go for other, if there is a bidirectional relation or many to many, we can find them here and avoid using them. And there are so many other things to do here, and you can go for them one by one. If you use the slash button instead of divide function, it identifies them as a violation of BPA rules. And it helps us a lot to observe and monitor our model. And here we are. Mehtad, I'm at your service. If there's any question, I'm
Awesome.
here to
Cool. Yeah, actually,
cover it.
there's a question from Chinmay. If Power Query transformation consumes more RAM, does applying query folding reduces RAM consumption?
Yeah, when we use query folding when we are dealing with an RDBMS, it's like SQL, like Oracle, and when we are using flat files like CSVs, Excel, we are not able to use this feature. And obviously, using query folding reduces RAM usage.
Yeah, it depends on your source then. What is the source? If the source has some engine like SQL Server or
Yeah,
the other RDBMS,
you push the load to the
yeah,
source. It's kind of it's related to our topic, upstreaming the
yeah.
transformations. If you're going to create a calculated column, don't do it, go for a measure. If you can do it on Power Query part, don't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Don't make the measure go to Power Query. Yeah, upstreaming is the best
For
practice.
sure, one of the thing is that just push whatever that you can to the other resources than the RAM and
Yeah,
Power BI, which is going to be somehow client facing. When they are running the reports, of course they need a good performance, right? And
yeah,
so whatever
absolutely.
calculation, whatever transformation that can be happening in the other resources that is not going to involve our Power BI file and report
Let
in the
them do
RAM,
it.
then yeah. And I also like the idea that you were just touching about, just load whatever
There
that
are a
you
lot
need,
of
right?
topics to cover,
Yeah,
Mehta.
actually,
There are a lot of what my battery went low.
no, that's fine, that's fine. Thank you, thank you. That was a great session. Thank you very much, Mehdi. Guys, if you have any question, we can go over them. If not, I'm gonna just share my screen again. Thank you, Mehdi, for your great session. It was really nice. Our next session will be on next week, June 7th, uh, at 7 a.m. Pacific time, with Andy Kotler. He was our speaker before, and he's coming back with another topic about Microsoft Fabric Warehouse for DBAs. And yeah, and if you missed the session, and if you want to rewatch it, so feel free to go to our YouTube channel and stay tuned by following us on LinkedIn and joining to the meetup group. Cool. So I'm okay. So Mehdi, if you have anything to add, feel free.
I wanted to say something at the end. Yeah, briefly, I wanted
Yeah, go
to
for it.
tell something. I wanted to talk to audience directly. Excuse me for my bad English, for my bad accent. I uh, beg your pardon for that. And if you found some glitches, found some mistakes in my grammar, in my language, English is my third language. It's happens, and I beg your pardon for that. Excuse me, and I hope you enjoyed
No,
it.
you were awesome. You were awesome. So uh, one of our code of conduct that we have. It is the meaning of community. The community doesn't mean that everyone must be perfect on something. However, you're 100% okay. But I'm just talking about the value of the community, that everyone is embracing the knowledge. It is about the knowledge and how we're going to share the knowledge to others, which is very valuable and which is very appreciated. I mean, truly appreciated that
Thank you.
it was 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and on your end you got up
Yeah,
during your weekend, and then just talking about Power BI, and sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience, and whatever that you have faced, the problems in the past, that you learned something from those mistakes, from those failures. Now you're sharing with the community, which is very
yeah.
fantastic. Thank you very much for your time again,
Thank you to you.
and yeah, we can just hoping a great weekend for everyone, and enjoy your weekend. Just let's learn together, and yeah, just grow together. Cool. Have a good one.